Hello there, how are ya? Welcome back to How I Did It. Well, work continues on the barn, but in the meantime, there is a bunch of things going on behind the scenes, and one of them are the bees. Now, I added my original Chinese version of the flow hive onto the top of my fine frame nuke from Man Lake. They are absolutely doing a great job. I stopped feeding them, pulled their feeder out of the inside, did my little inspection of the lower half. They were queen right. They were drawn out 7 of the 10 frames. So I went ahead and I added the flow frames onto the top. And now they are starting to just really work like crazy, getting all the gaps on these flow frames propolized. That way, in another probably 2 weeks, our flow is going to start here in Central Florida, and they will be filling this up with initial nectar, sealing it to where I'll have honey. Now, on the other beehive that I purchased from David at Barnyard Bees, a 3-pound package, they are doing really well. They are about a week or a week and a half behind the 5-frame nuke. The difference between the two prices, they were comparable when you include the shipping that I had to pay to get them down from Georgia from David at Barnyard Bees compared to buying Man Lakes bees locally here in Central Florida. Overall, I think you have to do what's best for your area. Both hives seem to be thriving really well. The only thing that I've noticed is on the bees that I purchased from Barnyard Bees, initially I started out with a red marked queen. Well, the red marked queen has since left, and now I have a white marked queen. Now, there is a commercial beekeeper in the area, and he has a couple of sets of his hives sitting out there. So I don't know if these girls actually really did swarm on me, and then the new queen and some of her bees moved in. I'm just not sure. I'm just kind of scratching my head at this point. But this 10-frame Langstroth deep box has about 7 frames filled out. So now it's time for me to go ahead, stop feeding them, go ahead and let them start working on propolizing the flow frames of my homemade flow frame hive box, if that makes sense. So a 10-frame Langstroth deep box will hold 7 of the honey flow frames. Now, whether you purchase these off of eBay or you purchase them off of Amazon sells them. I know you can buy them from Flow Frames Direct. Those are 3 of the sources. I'm not going to quote any one source just because I am not sponsored by any of these vendors. I do, however, really like these flow frames. The only thing I probably will do later this year is an experiment on having the bees come up into mason jars inside of a shallow box and have honey jars with honeycomb inside. This is the frame or the flow frame box that I built. Now, prior to bringing these flow frames out here, I did take a wax crayon, a beeswax, true wax, not like a coloring crayon, ran it across the frames, and then I give them a quick spritz of 1-to-1 sugar syrup just to kind of entice the bees to come up, as well as I gave a little tap of the feeder here to get the bees out of the bottom or off the bottom of the feeder shim. Went ahead, put the inner cover on, and then put the telescoping cover over the top. And as you can see, they are just really doing well. Alrighty then, I want to thank you all for stopping by. Have an absolutely wonderful and blessed day. I'll see you next time.